Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the sports stuff video. Today, we are going to be going over the Micah Parsons trade. Now that it's been a couple of days, we can finally let it settle and go over kind of like the ins and outs and the things that are going to be coming from that trade. So if you guys do enjoy, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Let's get into the video. So obviously, the Green Bay Packers, they make a blockbuster trade only 2 weeks before the NFL starts, or the NFL season starts, where they trade 2 first-round picks and veteran D tackle Kenny Clark to the Dallas Cowboys from Micah Parsons. And in the trade, Micah signs a 4-year, $188 million contract, over $100 million guaranteed. Wow, what a trade! I mean, I think we can all agree, Micah Parsons, if he's not your number one pass rusher, he's a top 3, top 4 pass rusher, right? It's gonna be Micah, T.J. Watt, Myles Garrett, Max Crosby, maybe Aiden Hutchinson, maybe, but he's in the conversation for one of the best players in football on the defensive side of the ball. So any trade involving him is gonna be massive, right? Especially when it's only for 2 first-round picks. Because I believe I need to make sure that's Khalil Mack trade. What was his original trade? Khalil Mack was traded for 2 first-round picks and a second. Wait, what? The Raiders received 2 first-round picks, a 3rd-round pick, and a 6th. And then they got Khalil Mack and a 2nd-round pick. So, what do we feel? Like, do we think Micah Parsons at this point in his career is further along than Khalil Mack was? Probably not, because Khalil Mack, I believe, at that point had already won a Defensive Player of the Year award. But I think we can all agree that Micah Parsons and Khalil Mack, either comparable. I might even have Micah Parsons at this point of his career a little higher than Khalil Mack. The only difference is that Khalil Mack always showed up in the playoffs, but Micah Parsons, I mean, this is a dude who this season could win Defensive Player of the Year, and now he's going to a defensive culture that Rashawn Gary plays a lot like Micah Parsons, just at a lesser level, so we know what that system can look like. And when it comes to the Packers' defensive line, yes, losing Kenny Clark hurts. I love Kenny Clark. I think he's been a really good D tackle for the last 7 years. The issue is he's fallen off. He's not the same guy as he was in 2020, 2021, but they've gone very heavy in drafting D tackle the last couple of years. We have Devontae Wyatt, who was a notable first-round pick in the early 2020s. We have Carl Brooks, who I really liked as well 2 years ago. They signed Nazir Stackhouse in free agency, undrafted free agent. Colby Wooden as well, another guy I really liked in his draft class. Then at pass rusher, you have Kingsley Enagbare. You have Lucas Van Ness, who's a former first-round pick. You have Rashawn Gary, obviously a former first-round pick. And now you add in Micah Parsons. This defensive line just got scary. And at linebacker, you didn't really lose a whole lot. Again, like, this is a linebacker room that you've been developing over the last couple of years. You have Quay Walker, Edgerrin Cooper, Tyron Hopper, Isaiah McDuffie, Nick Neiman from the Chiefs as well. There's a lot of guys in this team that I think are going to gel really well together. I think there's with Micah Parsons, I think he can easily, instead of bull rushing, can easily do what he did in Dallas, play all over the defensive backfield, whether it's in the linebacker or in the slot corner role. This defense is very, very scary. You have Nate Hobbs, Xavier McKinney. Like, I'm so excited to see what they're going to do. I don't know what exactly what their projected win total is going to be, because yes, giving up 2 first-round picks is a lot, but when it's for a guy like Micah Parsons, you got to do it every 10 out of 10 times, and it's just something that you have to do. Again, Kenny Clark, yes, was a Packers leader, was a captain multiple times, was a face of the franchise to the defensive side of the ball at some point, but you upgraded him to a Defensive Player of the Year candidate pass rusher, which we can all agree pass rusher is a higher priority than D tackle, especially when you've been replacing the D tackle room in the draft with younger guys who have a lot of potential. For the Dallas Cowboys side of the ball, yikers, right? I think we can all agree that's a yikers trade. We can all like this team already with Micah Parsons. We were all worried. Oh crap, this is not going to be a good pass rushing group, right? Marshawn Kneeland was drafted in the 2nd round last year. Hasn't really developed. He was injury prone a couple of times, throughout last season, but he was a starter for them. Okay, what's he going to be? You have Dante Fowler Jr., the long-term veteran Dante Fowler Jr. What is he at this point in his career? I believe he's like 8-9 years into his career. Then Sam Williams was drafted a couple years ago. He's been an okay rotational pass rusher. You guys know I love Donovan Azaraku. I believe he's from Ole Miss. But I definitely remember him from this draft class. He was one of my favorite guys in this draft class Then you have James Houston, a longtime veteran. So I see what they're trying to do, right? They see Donovan Azaraku. He must have been really good in preseason in the training camp. They must be really impressed with him because this is a dude who's got to play a lot more minutes now, right? Before, Dante Fowler, Micah Parsons, Marshawn Nealon, that's the three guys that you're prioritizing, right? Your premier pass rushers and your stopgap pass rusher. Then with the other guys sprinkled in. This tells me now that Donovan Azaraku is going to get a lot of more playing time. He could probably get anywhere from 300 to 400 snaps now, compared to his maybe 150 to 200. I'm so excited to see what we're going to see out of this defense, right? With Micah Parsons, you knew what you're going to get with him because you lost DeMarcus Lawrence, who, again, last year he was injured the entire season. So you already played a whole year with no DeMarcus Lawrence and only Micah Parsons. And Micah Parsons still performs, right? But now you don't have Micah Parsons. You don't have DeMarcus Lawrence. You're going with guys who don't really have a whole lot of starting experience and are either too young to have any or too old, where they've always been that positional rotation pass rusher. Then now your starter. Now, at D tackle, you got a lot better before, right? Mozzie Smith had issues. He has not been a great draft pick. He has not developed the way you wanted him to. Osa Digizua obviously is that guy. He got the paycheck this past offseason. Osa Digizua is a top 5 D tackle in the NFL. Kenny Clark, next to Osa Digizua, I have no worries about their run game now. Their interior run stopping is going to be top 10 in the league. And when it comes to pass rushing, Kenny Clark's a pretty solid pass rusher. Nothing special anymore, but he's still a very good pass rushing D tackle. But their run defense is going to be top 10. We can all agree on that because Marshawn Nealon is a very bendy edge rusher. I probably would say, I'm trying to remember what I really graded him at. I think he's a pretty good a run stopper. I don't really remember, but Dante Fowler is going to be your pass rusher, premier pass rusher. And that's something that's scary to say as an NFL team, that our starting edge rusher is Dante Fowler Jr. in the year 2025. That's scary to say, but they got 2 first-round picks. That's something interesting. They're going to be late first-round picks because the Packers are now going to be elevated from playoff contenders to Super Bowl contenders, right? Basically losing nothing, right? I mean, again, nothing against Kenny Clark. Losing nothing of true day one superstar talent for day one superstar talent who could win Defensive Player of the Year any year now. And all you have to do is trade 2 first-round picks. Because again, if everything goes right? Let's say they don't win a Super Bowl in the next 2 years. But let's say they are in the NFC Championship game every single year. 10 out of 10 times, you're trading those 2 first-round picks, number 28, number 29, for Micah Parsons. Every single day you're doing that. But let's just say they do win a Super Bowl. Amazing. Micah Parsons is going to be a big reason why you won a Super Bowl. But even if you don't win a Super Bowl, you're going to be in the playoffs, and at best, you're going to be in the NFC Championship game. That's pick 20 through 29. Every damn day, you are making that trade of 2 first-round picks and Kenny Clark to get a guy like Micah Parsons, who is 26 years old, entering his prime. You're only paying him $43 million a year, and in 2 or 3 years, when that contract is kind of coming back up, he wants an extension, the money he's making will not even be top 5 edge money. Aiden Hutchinson has not signed a contract. He hasn't signed one. He's gonna beat that number. Let me see. Spot rack. Let me see all the edge rushers that will be coming up for extensions in the next 2 years. We'll say 2 years. NFL contracts. We're gonna go edge rusher. Edge. Oh no, I need free agents. There we go. 2026 free agents. Okay, 2026 free agents. So these are guys that next year are going to get extensions or new deals. We have Trey Hendrickson next year. We'll probably get somewhere around 30 to 35. Don't think he's going to break the bank. AJ Epinesa won't break the bank. Let's see. Is there anyone who's not making a whole lot of money right now? I'm not seeing anyone. Nick Benito's probably gonna make $25 to $30 million. I think Cam Sample as well could probably make anywhere from 15 to 25. Let's see. Okay, so no one next year I think is gonna really contend with him on a contract, right? In 2027, you have guys. You have Aiden Hutchinson in 2027. You have Will Anderson in 2027. They're both gonna be making top tier money. Kayvon Thibodeau will also be coming in the exact same time as well. He's going to need an extension. He'll probably make somewhere around $30 million a year at that point as well. Lucas Van Ness in Green Bay, now they probably won't pay him that money, but I think he'll still ask for a lot of money. Jermaine Johnson could make a lot of money. Okay, so that's two guys. Let's say two guys. Aiden Hutchinson, Will Anderson. Kayvon probably won't make that much money, but Will Anderson and Aiden Hutchinson will make more money than that, right? So that's two guys already. We're in the year 2028. We're 3 years into this guy's contract. Let's see. Okay, Will Anderson officially comes up that year. Jared Verse is going to make more than him. There's a chance Will McDonald can make more than him. I think he could really develop. Top Robinson can make more than him. Yeah, so I feel very confident that by the end of year 3 of this Micah Parsons extension, he will not even be in the top 5 contracts of edge rushers. So this is a great value, right? Yes, right now it's a lot of money, but you already know what Micah Parsons is for you right now, and that's a Defensive Player of the Year candidate. In 3 years, when he's 29, he's in the middle of his prime. You're going to want to extend him again, and at that point, his $44 million won't even be top 5 money. It won't even be top 5 money. So I have no doubt and no issue with this trade. I have the issue, obviously, from the Cowboys' end of view, that it's all pride why Micah Parsons didn't get extended. That they thought a handshake deal 5 months ago was good enough to get Micah Parsons to sign the extension when they didn't even bring up guaranteed money. And the minute that Micah Parsons actually wanted to go with his agent, Jerry Jones had a trip. So it's a joke that the Cowboys traded him, but the Packers are buying low. Only 2 first-round picks for a 26-year-old guy on a Hall of Fame pace right now who could win a Defensive Player of the Year award any minute now. You're buying on that, especially because you're already a contender for the playoffs every single year. You're like, if you miss the playoffs in a year, it's a disappointment of a season. You're always going to be at least in the playoffs, if not Super Bowl level, if not NFC Championship level. So that's pick 25 through 32 is where those 2 picks are going to be. You're trading that every day for Micah Parsons, especially with what he can do on your team in that system that we've seen guys with his kind of a build and play style like Rashawn Gary succeed in. There's no doubt in my mind that the Packers won this trade A+. And the Cowboys, I'm not going to say lost the trade because I think it was pretty obvious no matter what, he was not coming back to Dallas. So they got a good amount of value out of him. For someone that was not going to re-sign with the team, it's pretty good value. But I definitely would have just signed him, bite the bullet, Jerry. But like an idiot, he doesn't. So yeah, that's my grade. I'm going to say C- for the Cowboys, A+ for the Packers. If you guys did disagree, let me know in the comments what you think, right? I want to know what you guys think. How would you grade this trade? So if you guys enjoy, please like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys later. Peace and bye.